All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're thrilled. For over 7 years, my first guest has been NBC's chief White House correspondent. He's also a frequent guest host on the Today Show. He's a great guy, funny guy. Please welcome David Gregory.
I have to say hi to Max. My friend and producer Antoine Sanfuentes is a talented drummer. Wanted to say hello.
Oh, well, that's
so I just wanted to get that.
My best to him and you as well.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Sorry, I just wanted to get that. I have to do a couple of emails, too. Is that a problem
That's
if I just
fine.
get that out of the way
That's
now? I just,
fine, yeah. Take
okay,
care of all
good?
those chores right here.
All right.
We have a lot to talk about, and you're at the center of this political world. You're on this show because you know what's really going on. But before we cover any of that,
Yes.
I have to ask you about something. You on the Today Show recently, not too long ago, Mary J. Blige was on the program. And she was singing and performing, and the camera caught you on the sidelines, enjoying yourself. Let's take a look.
As a tall man, you can appreciate that.
You know what? When a tall man, we're tall men.
We're tall men.
When tall men dance, people are afraid.
Yeah.
That's the reaction I get is, oh my God, he's starting to move. What's going to happen? You seem to pull it off better than I do. You seem to be, it's a confidence? What is it? Have you had training?
I used to dance a lot. My mother's a dancer. I danced a lot as a kid. And, yeah, I guess a little bit of a confidence thing, although apparently misplaced, according to some people I've talked to. There's been some, this stuff gets on the internet, and everybody just sort of opines. You spend hours saying, well, I thought that was a good move. I don't know. Maybe it was a little 80s. But the point is, it's still a pretty... But my wife is a little concerned both about the 80s aspect of my dancing, but also... that my sons now, I have 3 kids, but my oldest son and my youngest son, they both like to dance by themselves in front of the mirror. And she's a little concerned that, where that came from.
Let's move on.
Okay. Quickly.
Can
I just say, just on an appearance thing, I really thought your beard looked great. I don't know if you saw Conan's beard. And,
that was my first beard. I had never...
Really?
I've been on TV for so long. You can't grow... In our job, you don't start growing facial hair.
It's a little...
And the getting to the beard can get weird. There's like a Fu Manchu period where it gets crazy.
Right.
I never grew a beard before, and during the, that whole section of time when we were off the air because of the writer's strike, I grew a beard, and ladies liked it, guys did not.
Yeah, well, the Entertainment Weekly cover, right, that you were on, that was right. You look a little bit like an extra on the set of Madagascar.
Yeah.
But still, I think, and it's not easy to pull off a red beard.
No. It was a fun period of my life. I'll return to it at some point.
Right.
Next time I grow a beard, I can also put on an eye patch for no reason.
Right.
I just want to really go crazy next time. But I want to talk about something that is important. We're trying to choose a president right now.
Right.
And big story tomorrow is going to be the Republican primary in Florida. And this is a big story. And it's McCain and Romney seem to be the two that are battling it out. Now, Senator McCain's been here on the show. I get a sense of who he is. He's been around for a long time. I've talked to him a lot. I don't know Mitt Romney. I really don't know anything about him.
Right.
And I think a lot of people are trying to figure out who is this Mitt Romney guy. What's he like? You've talked to him, you've interviewed him, you spent a lot of time with him. What's he like?
He's an engaging guy, a terrific family man, and he's a guy who tries to connect in different ways.
He can come across as a little bit like white bread and stiff. Is that?
Good golly, what would make you think that? He'll actually. I've heard him in a campaign speech where he gets really, really animated. And at one point, he said, John Edwards talks about there being 2 Americas, and I just get so darn mad when I hear that. I want to say an expletive like baloney. And apparently his thing is at the end of a tough day on the campaign, hooting and hollering, he really wants to kick back and party. He'll down like a whole milkshake.
He has a milkshake.
So he's pretty well. But he was down in South Florida and he wanted to connect with some kids, some young kids in the neighborhood. And apparently he comes up to this little baby. This is actually on tape. I'm not making that.
Right.
Comes up to a little baby who's got a necklace of some kind and says, "Hey, buddy, what you wearing? A little bling bling?" Which I don't hear him say a lot.
No. Want some milkshake with your bling bling?
Right. So he's interesting that way.
Now, primaries, you got to be all over the country.
Yeah.
It's such a big country, and you have to be in each state when they're happening. Is it a travel nightmare? Do you?
It's a logistical nightmare, and people don't appreciate really how hard it is on the press. When you look at it that way, it's tough on the candidate, it's tough on the press. But because they go around especially when money is tight. They're staying in places that are not that are not great. I mean, I've traveled with the vice president. And, it's either kind of like a hunting lodge situation or you're in a first-class resort. I went to a resort with the vice president once where they have, personalized stationery in the room.
Right.
So,
and, they provide you with monogrammed silk pajamas, that kind of
treatment.
Right.
Which, you can get used to. But I know, for instance, when I've been on the campaign trail and you're staying in kind of a seedy, something south of 4 stars, I had a little thing... It's roughing it. Like a place with like no concierge at all, and they.
There couldn't be such a place, David. You're talking fantasy.
I would carry a little thing I call the dream sack.
The dream sack.
The dream sack, yeah, and it's a little cocoon-like sheet, so that one doesn't have to personally interact with the sheets in a place that may be.
Wait a minute. When you stay in a motel, then you're a little suspicious. You bring a sack that you put yourself in so you don't have to be on the bed? Is that true? That's madness. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to follow you on your next campaign trip. Wait outside the motel when I know you're asleep, sound an air horn, and you're going to come hopping out in your dream sack. Like a bunny rabbit. That's madness.
By the way, it's not easy. It's not easy getting a dream sack that can fit you at 6'5".
Stop calling it a dream sack. Because you know what? I'll tell you something else, David. It sounds dirty. It really does.
Actually, now that
I want to come over and check out my dream sack.
Now that I've said this out loud, I was thinking maybe I should deny it. But I think at this point, we've gone a little too deep on this subject.
Yeah, you're screwed now. You're going to hear about this.
By the way, it's not easy in the middle of the night because you all get kind of turned around. And you're like, where am I? Am I in the dream sack? Am I on the actual sheets? What's happening here? It's a bit of a crisis. And there's nobody to call because there's no concierge. Anyway, the point is, it's really...
Concierge! Come up here at once. I'm trapped in my dream sack.
It's not easy. The other thing is these planes, the airplanes. You think, it's all lifestyles of the rich and famous out there on the road and Air Force One and all that.
Air Force One has got to be a great deal. Air Force, you fly on Air Force One all the time. That's got to be amazing.
It's nice. There's the peanuts and the M&Ms, and it's a very esteemed place. But don't kid yourself.
That's the big perk on Air Force One.
Well, this is my point.
They're called peanuts.
If you are in the press,
yes,
you sit. Basically, you're so far in the back, you're on a different aircraft.
Right.
And by the way, the turbulence on that jet is so bad. What I mean is, in the back, when the turbulence hits, there's you're caught up in it.
Don't they warn you? Don't they say we're about to hit some turbulence?
No. There's nobody saying you might want to buckle up or please watch this. Whatever, they'll figure it out when they hit the roof.
Yeah,
they just don't care.
Especially if the president's a little angry with the media. He's probably telling them, fly into that tornado and don't tell those saps in the back.
Yeah, well, they're not worried about avoiding the weather or the turbulence. They just, just go right on through. So that's what we're doing. No, but I was just going to say about the campaign planes that, like back in 2000, Bush had a plane where he had his front section cordoned off, and in the back, the press got a little bit rowdy, and they were mixing, adult beverages, and there was a little disco ball. So there can be.
Wow, that sounds like a good. And would the president ever visit you back in that section?
He would like to come back and party a little bit. Sometimes the aides would warn him not to, and he'd have some fun with it. One time he said, "Look, I love drunk people." So
that's a funny statement. That never followed him around much. I love drunk people. All right. I've got to. Next time you come, I want to see the dream sack. You got to bring it here. Clean it first.
Next time you go on the road, you're going to be in a situation. You're going to say, maybe I shouldn't have been so judgmental.
I've never said that to myself ever. NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams airs weeknights at 6:30. So we'll watch for you there. And David, it's always really hilarious. Thanks for being here. Good man.
Thank you.
David Gregory. We'll be right back with Travis Pastrana. He does crazy. It's crazy.